Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth-Busting Mondays. In today's video, for the final myth, we are going to be testing if whether or not that if you can sneak up behind the witch if you crouch walk behind her. So that is what we're going to be testing here at the very end. If you guys end up enjoying today's video, please drop a like, subscribe if you are new. And with all that being said, guys, let's get on with this week's episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth-Busting Mondays. Myth. Can you kill 8 chargers with one clip of an M16? Alrighty guys, so for myth number 1, this is going to be submitted in by Zoe. By the way, even though this is irrelevant for the myth, I just want to apologize if my voice doesn't sound the best for commentating for today's video. My allergies are just screwing with me, so I'm going to be on the more quieter side for today. But I've got my chargers spawned in here, and I'm just going to start killing them by shooting them in the head with the M16. Now, Zoe does say that for the myth, he just wants to get anywhere between 8 and 10, so I'm just going to go for a minimum of 8 and just say that that's good enough. So if we end up getting 8, I'll write the myth as confirmed, and I'm pretty much about to be there. I've only got 2 more chargers left, and I've got a decent amount of ammo that with headshots I think I can end up doing this. So yes, I end up killing the very last charger with 1 bullet to spare, therefore meaning the myth is confirmed. You can kill 8 chargers with 1 clip of an M16 if you end up landing your shots. Myth. After a tank throws a rock, will disabling the director delete the rock along with the tank? Okay guys, myth number 2 is going to be submitted in by Glabursko. Now this myth could honestly go either way. The game could categorize the tank's rock along with the tank, or it could calculate it separately, therefore meaning that there's really no way of telling if the tank's rock is going to disappear by just simply deleting the tank. So all we gotta do is just wait for the tank to throw his rock, and then just use our admin menu to delete the rock while it's in the middle of the air. So the tank's gonna throw one roughly about here, and as he's throwing it, I hit delete, but the rock still ends up flying towards me and hits me even though I have God mode. So that means that the myth is busted, since the tank's rock will still continue to hit you even if the tank is gone. Myth. Are male boomers more common than female boomers? Alrighty guys, so the third myth is submitted in by, I believe, is Paraserp. If that's not how you pronounce your name, man, just let me know via the comments. Now, going back to the myth here for a second, I really like this because I've never really thought about this before. Although I will say from my experience, if I did have to think about it, I would actually like to believe the opposite. Any map that has a female boomer on it as an option, I feel like I get more female boomers than male boomers. And that belief sort of seems to be manifesting before my very eyes, because you guys can see from the gameplay footage, even though it's quick, that more female boomers spawn in than male boomers. So the way that me and Glabursko are testing this is we're just spawning in 100 boomers and then just counting how many are male versus female, and then just seeing what the difference percentage is. We also did do this on other maps as well. So if we were to do this on, like, let's say NSenr, for example, I don't think a female boomer can even spawn on that at all. Some maps just don't offer female boomers as a spawn option. It only is things like Coldstream or Swamp Fever. For some reason, the water maps tend to have the female boomers as an option, but nothing else other than that, which I thought was interesting. But yes, here is our calculations. So this is the number of male boomers versus female boomers from the footage you just watched. We had 27 male boomers and 37 female boomers, which is a huge difference from each other. It is over 70% likely that you're going to get a female boomer if it's an option versus a male boomer. So regarding myth number 3, it's actually busted, not confirmed, because our findings was the opposite. Instead of getting more male boomers, we got more female boomers. Myth. Can a boomer puke on a survivor across the swamp in Swamp Fever? Alrighty guys, so myth number 4 is going to be submitted in by Tyler. Now, Glabursko is taking the ferry across the swamp in Swamp Fever, and we're both going to stand as close to each other as we can, despite being on opposite sides of the map, and see if whether or not that the boomer can vomit on him from all the way out there. But as you guys can see, the odds are not in my favor. The boomer's vomit heads more rather into the water, I would say around maybe like 20 feet in front of the boomer, or maybe about like 20% of the way there. It's not really that far. Even trying a different angle, like let's say over at this corner here, which is technically closer to Glabursko in terms of lengthwise, this also cannot reach him all the way out there. So that means that myth 4 is also busted. The boomer can't reach you from across the swamp in Swamp Fever. The range on his puke doesn't go as far as you think it does. Alrighty guys, and now it is time for the final myth, and once again it is going to be, can you sneak up on the witch if you crouch walk behind her? Let's move over to the Blood Harvest campaign, set up a witch, sneak up behind her, and see what happens. Myth, can you sneak up on a witch if you crouch walk behind her? Alrighty guys, the very last myth for today's episode is submitted in by Vader. So all I'm going to do is just go into the cabin over here with the witch's back turned to me, and just literally verbatim crouch walk behind her and see as she turns around. Is one of the powers of being a witch that she gets supersonic hearing and is able to hear my feet from all the way behind her. So as I get closer, she does eventually turn around roughly as soon as I get in front of the bush. And this is consistent every single time, where as soon as I'm getting to roughly about the bush, the witch ends up getting pissed. So at least doing it this way just by yourself, there's no way that this is going to work. The witch will just suddenly turn around like in a horror movie and kick your ass. Something I would like to point out though, while we were trying to test this myth within our findings, we did notice this interesting little detail where if somebody already upsets the witch while she's distracted, you can sneak up on her technically that way. But I more rather look at this as distracting the witch versus sneaking up on her. So I'm just going to label the myth as busted regardless, but I thought that I would just throw this in here in case you guys were curious. But yeah, everybody, that is going to be it here for today's video, and I do truly hope you guys ended up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. If you guys have a myth of your very own that you would like to have be featured in next week's episode, please by all means leave them here in the comment section down below, or also alternatively, you can put them within my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in this video's description. But with all that being said, guys, I hope you end up enjoying this week's episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth-Busting Mondays, and I hope you guys end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers they're ever going to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords, Jesus here, and you better have enjoyed that video there by the Eternal God Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!